There's always arseholes out there that don't treat people well. Equally, I've found there's a lot of business owners that treat their staff incredibly well.
Fucking bosses piss me off. Bosses get employees and as if like they're there to serve them. It's fucking crazy. The entitlement by small business owners and managers is obnoxious. These are fellow human beings. You have people that own companies that I expect my people to work the way I work. I'm like, are you giving them the same money? The fuck are you talking about? I've never even remotely crossed my mind in my 25 years that anyone should even work as hard as me. They work for me, I work for them, but I'm getting different economics. Of course they should not work like the delusion. The biggest mistake people make and why they can't build scalable businesses is they have selfish expectations of their employees.
Okay, Gary. Look, I actually really like you, Gary V. What I love about your way of looking at things, you're so passionate about it. But I think it can be exaggerated. Now, lucky with regard to Boost Juice Bars that we have literally hundreds of franchisees, and not all bosses piss people off, right? The reality is people never expect to work as hard as the bosses because they're the one that actually owns a business. So I actually think that, yes, there's people out there, there's always arseholes out there that don't treat people well. But equally, I've found there's a lot of business owners that treat their staff incredibly well and go above and beyond. Personally, I don't feel like anyone works for me. I always believe that people work with me because I can't do what I do on my own. So every single person that's ever been employed by me, I've always seen them as an important part of a bigger picture. So Gary, I'm sorry that bosses piss you off, but I know a lot of people out there in business land that are incredible employees and they treat their staff incredibly well.
This is not the truth for everybody, but I hire based on cultural fit. I mean, you have to have some level of base competency, let's be honest, but I would prefer to train you for technical skill than hire somebody that's not the right cultural fit.
Right.
Because like at the end of the day, when the mics are off, it's you, it's me, it's Jess, it's Annalisa, it's Gabby, it's Maddie, it's like the rest of my team hanging out and trying to work out what happens next, and we need to get along.
Yeah.
We don't just need to get along. It is so important that you and I understand each other on a deeper level so that when we are doing the work that we do, it makes sense.
Look, in some respect, what Victoria said, I think is right. In actual fact, you really do need to hire a cultural fit. I think it's really important that you can actually train skills, but you can't train attitude. I talk about things like verb and saw. You know, if you're a victim, entitled, rescue and blame, you get nowhere. If you're solutions-based, ownership, accountability and responsibility, you can conquer anything. I don't agree that you need to be friends or you need to be, get along, right? I think there needs to be respect. Respect is really important. But I actually think the best teams are people that are completely different from each other. You know, you've got creatives and you've got analyticals and you've got all of a mishmash of a whole lot of personalities. But not everyone wants to go for coffee or tea or need to be friends. But I do think you need respect. So I agree with you with culture fit, but I don't think that fundamentally you need to get along to the level that you're talking about.
Entrepreneurship is uncomfortably lonely. People are like, Gary, I want to leave my job and be my own boss. I'm like, being an entrepreneur and CEO means everyone's your boss. I work for everyone that's sitting in that front row. And I really feel that. Actually no bullshit. Am I allowed to curse?
No.
Oh. What's great about entrepreneurship is you make your own rules.
Gary, look, in some respects, I agree with him. You know, when I first started Boost Juice Bars in 2000, I had 3 little kids at home and I didn't get out. All I did was work, and the only people I spoke to was the people I worked with, right? It was only probably 4 or 5 years into the business that I actually started to have networks and have connections outside of work. And, when he says it's lonely, it can be because people who work for you or you pay them, you're always their boss, right? So even though you might be friend-like, you're not friends because there's going to be times where you have to make the hard calls and may not be popular. I've come across many business owners who feel like they need support and help with people on the same wavelength. And there's a lot of ways of doing that, right? There's something called EO, entrepreneur group. There is YPO, which is another group. There is CEO. There's lots of groups that you can join, which I find helps fulfill that void of, I don't know where to go to. So find people who have a similar business to you, and there will be a business group for that. And the reason it's been created is because people do feel lonely and not sure who to turn to in business. So Gary, I agree with you on that one, but there is solutions. The other thing people do often is they do a advisory board. Again, they've got someone to bounce some ideas off and to just do a sanity check that what you're doing is the right thing. Gary V, I agree with that one. If you like this video, please subscribe and add any comments in the comment section, and I will get to